I just want to know, in your opinion, how I should think as a Christian Palestinian when other Christians tell me that Europeans who haven't been on the land before 1947 have more right to the land than me, especially since my ancestors learned Christianity probably from Jesus himself on the land. And the British, when they were holding the land, they were holding the land already occupied by the people, by my family members who were forcefully kicked out of their own homes. We have the key to our house in Jordan for our house in Palestine, where Jews from Europe with British weapons walked in and kicked my family out of their own house to create a Jewish state on a land where people already existed.
I don't know how to answer the question other than to say that I do believe that Israel has a right to exist as a nation.
Land that was already occupied, or
Again, a lot of that land that was occupied by Jewish people that wanted a state.
most of the people are more Arab Levantine than they are Jewish, because if you look past like DNA tests that I have, Canaanite, Natufian, whatever you want before, the Israelite, like the Jews, their relatives didn't exist 12,000 years ago. But they were relatively newer. With 6,000 years on the land gives you influence, and you should exist, and you should be allowed to exist under, like they were existing under Palestinian rule, fine. Before 1947, there were Jews on the land. They were living their lives. They were treated just like any other individual.
I don't know that I would agree with that characterization.
Well, you can ask the Jews who used to live there. How many stories from pre-1947 will you find a Jew saying, "Oh no, they were beating me because I'm Jewish. They didn't allow me to live here because I'm Jewish." I'm not a Muslim, but one of their values is objectively treating your neighbor like yourself. And I'm a Christian, and we have the same value. And both of us were doing this really well when we were living in the land before the Israelites.
I'm not trying to reduce the pain of individuals with respect to people that lived in an area that were forced to relocate. I do think that when we look at what happened in 1947, there was a conflict that resulted from that, and you had another conflict in 48, and you had another conflict in 67, you had another conflict in 73, and you had another conflict in 81.
My ancestors were living on that land for every single one of these occupations, and the land, in most cases, had a name more similar to Palestine.